Andy Liu, welcome to Light Years. The Warriors lose 132-94. Brad Wanamaker and Kelly Oubre with some key turn. Oh God, no. I mean, that's what it feels like, right? Do you feel like we've gone back in time 2 years?
It feels like that. I want to say it's worse, but then I remember they lost to Toronto Raptors by 86 points, or was it OKC by 95? So, it's just as bad. If it's right there. It's right there.
Fun fact, friend of the show and loyal goon, Mike Meekus, was at the game in Tampa where the Raptors beat him by 182. And he was there tonight. So I am proposing, Mike Meekus, you are no longer allowed to go to Warriors games. Nothing personal. You know we love you. But it's just how it's going to have to be. Just how it's going to have to be.
That's disgusting behavior. I feel bad for him on one hand, though, by the way.
I feel really bad for him.
I know he wanted to see Steph out there, and he got one of, I would say, it's not the worst loss of the Warriors season, not even close to the worst loss, but it's as bad as they played all season. Yeah, just miserable from the moment the game started all the way to it just got worse somehow, and they were down by 42 points at one point, and Draymond played tonight, Klay played tonight, so it's not like Poole played tonight. So anyway, it just.
So let's start with some of the big picture stuff. So Klay and Draymond and Looney basically got pulled mid-third quarter. Steve Kerr does the polite, we're not making a comeback. I'm not going to run these guys into the ground because we've got a back-to-back tomorrow, and I'm just going to let the kids play through it. And what was like a 15 to 20 point game at that point ballooned to 30 to 40 with the kids. It's not like they were playing good before that. It was just one of those coaches' decisions over 82. It's fair to say no Wiggins, obviously no Steph, Dante with an illness, and JaMychal with COVID. For a team that's not deep, that's a lot. That's a lot right there. Dante and Wiggins and JaMychal particularly, even though JaMychal's been inconsistent, he's better than
Wiseman. Been playing better. He's been playing better. JaMychal's been playing
better. He's more what you expect for the veteran minimum goon than like Otto, who just exceeded expectations. But anyway, all that said, shorthanded dubs, and I feel like there's two things really to talk about with this game. It's the kids in general, and it's kind of like, how do the Warriors rebound from it, really? So let's get to the kid segment. Frustrating as it is, let's start where everyone wants us to start, with James Wiseman right now. I just want to put this out there. I'm officially fed up with Fitz. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of Fitz doing the voice thing he does when Steph hits a big shot. Anytime Wiseman doesn't like throw up on himself, Wiseman with the rebound, like that sort of thing. It's so tiresome, and it's kind of disrespectful to Wiseman that he just doesn't let him be. He's trying so hard to sell Wiseman as the future that it's patronizing, and it's unfair to him, because the only thing I saw tonight watching James Wiseman is he's played 1,200 minutes of basketball in 4 years, and there's no chance on earth he can help this team in the playoffs this year. He looks like a multi-year project, because he should be, because he hasn't played basketball in a few years.
And the most depressing thing about all of this is that I don't know if James Wiseman believes in himself that he can be successful on the Golden State Warriors. It's been a very tough road for him on this team. Injury, the team around him being bad, and then now him having to be this type of player where I think he's trying to change himself into the type of player that can help the Warriors and not a player that he's comfortable being. Not that I'm saying he's going to be a good player playing the way that he wants to, but he is just... when I watch Moses Moody pump fake from three and not shoot, I'm like, yeah, he's in his head, right? Like Steve Kerr's telling
Yeah.
him like not to shoot. When I see Kuminga drive to the basket, then kick it back out, I'm like, that's not what Kuminga wants to do. But I also think those guys still are good enough and have played enough basketball to where, yeah, I could still see Kuminga stay on the floor and be effective. Wasn't tonight, but I can see that. Same with Moses Moody. With James Wiseman, it's like, holy shit. They are asking him to do things that he had never done. Rebound the basketball. Try to play defense. Catch a basketball. They are asking him to do things that all Wiseman wants to do. Set a screen. I could go on and on and on, but you get what I mean. All he wants to do is get the ball, dribble, and shoot. It's all he wants to do. And he has never, ever, ever failed doing that until now. And now he's trying to learn how to play winning basketball. And it's not going to happen this year. It's definitely not happening in the postseason. It's not going to happen next year, like you said. So, and now they have to pay him to. And so Fitz has been awful. He's doing his usual stuff. Frankly, I think his reasoning for trying to sell Wiseman actually turns fans away from him.
Agreed.
Dude, we see it. We see it. Everybody sees it. He got dunked on by Isaiah Hartenstein's a fine player, but come on, man.
Isaiah Hartenstein is on Sam's hipster list of free agent targets every year.
Warriors really need him. Warriors really need someone. Like he's like a shittier Jakob Poeltl even, but he's like perfect. Yeah. And Wiseman's just getting dunked through the ground by him. It's just like, dude, what are we doing here?
He knows who he is, and that's the thing with Wiseman. You hit it on the head, actually. I love that way you explained it. This is probably the first time in his life, like, just shooting jump shots doesn't lead to wins. First time meaning the Warriors experience, not like this year specifically. And usually when a player hits a level where what they've done in the past doesn't work, it takes a while, and then it's a question of, are you going to adjust, or are you just going to be that like losing player? I don't think he's hit that level at any stage. Like, when I watch him, tell me if you disagree with me. Do you feel like he's more than 2 years away from being a winning player at this point?
At least, yeah. At least.
He strikes me as a guy. I think there's a winning player in there. He's got the physical tools. Effort's not really an issue with him. Like, he definitely runs. He tries. Yeah. He just doesn't really know what to do to impact winning at this level. And like, it's going to take a while. And that's just, tonight was a perfect example of that. He was playing against Jericho Sims, who's the third string center for the Knicks, getting dunked on. Isaiah Hartenstein. It's like, these are guys who, and Evan Mobley, like high picks who are young, dominate because they're ready and that sort of thing. And he's just not there. And it's that simple. We got a super chat from Solomon's text saying Wiseman might be worse in the league. I don't know about that. I think the difference is Wiseman would typically be on Houston. Like, so people aren't noticing it, but the fact that he's on a team who's trying to defend their title, it looks really bad. Like, imagine some of those Houston players, like maybe a Jalen Green coming in trying to chuck shots with Steph and Poole and stuff next to him. We'd be like, this guy's the worst player in the league. It's all about situation in some ways, and sometimes I just feel like he needs to go to a rebuilding team and get like 150 games under his belt.
200, yeah, whatever it is. William Mitchell had a super chat earlier that kind of dovetailed into what we're talking about. Ritter and Fitz doing propaganda for Wiseman has aged everyone except 8 years. Everyone 8 years except for the guy who actually needs to grow up. I mean, it's. I think that's really the most annoying part because Wiseman isn't the reason that they lost this game. He's not the reason that they lost to Indiana, right? The Warriors have been not good this season. Now, is his roster spot one of the reasons why the Warriors don't have a veteran player? I would say yes. I mean, he gets paid a lot of money to be very bad. And I think the Warriors could have other players in that role or just other people in that role, right? So I think that's now when we talk about in the future, everybody's all, us included, talking about the trade deadline. It's, are you just going to roster dump that spot? Because how on God's green earth are you paying him $12 million and then you're paying the taxes that go along with that? How is the other option? Just dumping Draymond's contract, Klay's contract. Who's taking Klay's contract? Andrew Wiggins not going anywhere. Stuff like, what out of those options, he's got that number. Is he not the guy that you have to get rid of if you want to save money?
Or let's say Joe Lacob's like, I want to see this through. I'm going to bite the tax and I'm going to try to acquire win now help another way. Who are you getting for a veteran minimum mid-season who can help this team? Sometimes you luck into an Otto Porter and a Bielitsa and like Belly for all his stuff. This team could use Belly right now, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just kind of it's one of those tough questions. Like, I can see why the Warriors are like, I get it, he's not going to help us now, but like, we just don't want to throw it away because he could help us in 2 years. But on the other hand, you kind of have an obligation to help the team now, and I'm not seeing how they can find a player without giving up something they want. We didn't even talk about Moses Moody. That's another player potentially. What do you think of Moody's game today? I was, like you said, pump faking a little bit, still just kind of a work in progress, is really the best way to put it.
I think so. I think there's NBA, like, that's a guy that I know is going to be the NBA. Like Wiseman, I'm not sure. Like, is he going to be in the NBA 4 years from now? Moses Moody, I know, but I think we may have thought that he has higher IQ than I think he actually does. And I think that he, for example, missed a wide open Klay early third, just misses a wide open Klay in the corner for a three that every good Warriors wing makes. Livingston makes that play. Andre makes that play. Otto Porter makes that play. JTA makes that play. Every good Warriors wing / big in their career makes that pass. And I just saw Moses Moody shoot that above the break and absolutely clank it. So it's, unless you're a Klay Thompson, pass the ball, right? And that's just an example. It's just one play. But I think that tells me that he's just not smart enough to play right now. The Warriors might not have any choice but to just play him, because it's not like the Warriors might be one of the dumbest teams I've ever seen. Like, this iteration of the Warriors might be one of the dumbest version of the Warriors I've ever seen. So it's like they got to play him. But I thought he was going to be smarter than this. I think the talent is still there. He can still shoot. He can handle a bit. He's still pretty long. He might be able. He has some defensive potential, but I thought he's going to be smarter. He's not. So, like, it feels like Jonathan Kuminga has a better feel for the game than him, which I think, if you're going into the season, definitely did not expect that.
I will say Kuminga over the last month has got a consistent 20 minutes per game. Give or take. Some games is like 15, some games 25. But he's got consistent run, and you do see the confidence building. The passings, he's feeling more comfortable as a playmaker, sometimes a little too comfortable, but he's trying to figure it out. And part of me does wonder if Moody, it's just rough when you don't get consistent minutes, because he is not a low IQ player. He's just he's a young guy who's probably thinking too much right now.
Yeah,
we got another super chat.
Good point
from Karima here, tied to this. I'll read it. Moody was a bit up and down. However, I still see something in there, and I believe he can be a positive contributor.
Whether that's the case, it's this year or this postseason, I think, not sure. But positive contributor, absolutely. I don't think he's going anywhere. Is he someone that the Warriors would have to attach to get a player? Like, maybe, but I don't think he's going anywhere. So the problem is Steve's got to play those guys. What do you think about Steve? You pointed this out earlier. What do you think about Steve throwing the second time that out on the court together? He had Wiseman, Kuminga, Moody, and then Ryan Rollins and Patrick Baldwin together, and then they went down. They essentially went on like the Knicks went on like a 22-0 run when those guys got out there. What you think about that? Pretty funny.
I think, yeah, and I think it's kind of like let's be real, guys. We can do this and not defend our title, or you can make a tough call and we can defend our title, and that's kind of what it comes down to. They love to. It annoyed me pretty heavily when Joe Lacob and Myers tried to victory lap how their 2-timeline plan won a title when none of those young guys played in the playoffs last year. And now they're faced with the reality of kind of like tough decisions have to be made. Either you pull a rabbit out of your hat and find a veteran who can help in the playoffs, or like you might have to give up a young guy.
Or two.
Yeah, who knows? But like my point is they're dealing with more of common reality, which is like it's hard to do both things at the same time, and decisions need to be made. And we can debate them, but like the reality is you're you're doing a disservice to the main timeline with the second timeline. And in some ways, you're doing a disservice to the second timeline with the main timeline too.
Actually, that's so true. Actually, because at this point, you're wasting James Wiseman's developmental years. You're wasting, and it's not just Wiseman. You're wasting Kuminga's
Moody could be getting
years.
25 minutes per game on an average team in the NBA. On a, I mean, do you not think the Sacramento Kings would play? And they have a better record than the Warriors, by the way. Do you not think they would play Moody 20 minutes a game?
Yeah. Orlando Magic, OKC.
Sure.
You don't think he'd be playing for OKC right now? Like, just you don't think Josh Giddey would get Bose Moody like 8 wide open threes? He just stands in the corner.
I mean, yeah. There's a lot of teams he could play for. You don't think the Lakers could use him?
Well,
rebuilding, tanking teams.
Who I'm trying to think of who's in a worse place, the Warriors or the Lakers this season. Because man,
I think it's probably the Lakers right now, just because this AD injury seems a lot worse than they're letting on.
And reevaluated in a month. Like, geez, is he out for the season?
They're not. It's.
Yeesh.
It might be a 2-month injury for him, and they're not good. Whereas that segue god, Andy Liu. We got a little Steph Curry update in the broadcast. Steph Curry on TNT discussing his rehab. I'm still early in the healing process. I'm nowhere near picking up basketball. It'll be a few weeks. I think maybe till the end of the year. I'll start to key in on a timeline after that. So none of this is new. It kind of ties to what I was thinking. But a couple dates to call out. The Warriors have a 8-game homestand, which will go from Christmas to January 10th. And then they hit the road on the 13th of January. And to me, it seems like Steph's return will either be at the very end of that homestand or the beginning of the road trip.
Yep.
So it kind of sucks because that's a very easy homestand. That's one that if Steph and the roster were healthy, we'd say 7-1. And now it's going to be a little more of like 5-3, hopefully. Like, let's survive type of thing. And I really do think they can go 5-3 if Poole and Wiggins and Draymond and those guys are healthy. But it's going to be a little more of a dogfight. Whereas that should have been the moment where they went on a run to get to the 3-4 seed.
Yeah. Yep. Which is fine. Which I think is fine. The season is not over. So I think it means that Steph's going to be out for a month going into that. And if you can go 5-3 with Steph making maybe his return at the last game, then you go into that road trip after that at what? Right at 500? A game under 500? It's not terrible, but we got a super chat from McWalter here. What do we got?
Games like this cause PTSD for longtime Warriors fans. Shout out my guy, Mike Walters, longtime Warrior fan. I am certain the fans aren't ready for #weak for Wemby, #suck for Scoot, #all in for Amen, #clank for Cam. For Andy, who's less of a draft nerd than me, those are your projected top 4 picks.
Who's Cam? Who's Cam?
Cam Whitmore.
I know Amen. Is it Amen or Amen? I know him. I've seen him. He's the athletic twin, right? He's
a ball. He's the one who's more of a point guard. But yeah, or just a ball handler. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. You know what, McWalters? Love you, but we're not doing this now.
All right. What do we go to? What do we go to?
We got a lot of voicemails. I feel like, you know what? Sometimes you don't need to overcomplicate it. Tim, let's get them going.
Goon voicemail.
Yo. End of the third. Knicks. This is atrocious. This is awful. God help us. Jesus. The athleticism of Wiseman fits is totally in his bag. This showing is just disgusting. What a disgrace. And to do it in Madison Square Garden, the mecca of basketball, is just absolutely pathetic, even though we don't have hardly any of our players playing. Just absolutely horrendous effort. Just god-awful. Down 90-75. Jeez. Can't believe this. Thanks, guys. You're the best.
McWalters with the call. Back-to-back super chat calls from McWalters. I appreciate it. It got worse, buddy. 90-75 was a high point this game. Not going to lie. Tim, let's hit the next one.
Hey, Sam and Andy. This is Ebony. I'm not even disappointed at this point. I'm just like, what can we do to fix it? And what do you guys think of PBJ, like, coming in over Wiseman or Lamb? I just think he could figure it out faster than both of those players. Not that Lamb is terrible, but come on. Wiseman, ... I mean, absolute yikes situation. I don't know if he'll ever be an NBA player. I get the whole 7-foot thing, but come on. You could at least stand up in the paint, bro. And he just, like, why are you a 7-footer diving on the floor? Like, without the ball. Like, no, there was no contact. He just, like, fell. It was weird. Anyways, just want to hear your thoughts on PBJ coming off the bench before Lamb and Wiseman. But thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.
I want to talk about Baldwin for a second.
Appreciate the call, Ebony, by the way. But yeah.
Dude, he's going to be an NBA player. He's giving me huge Moses Moody vibes in that. I don't know. Maybe he won't be a player.
You're going to bury him?
Shot's kind of weird. I don't know why he shoots. Like, it feels like he shoots from his left side pocket into his right. Like, it's like a crossbody thing. He's gonna have to fix that. But it's a good shot. It's like Moses Moody, where it's like, dude, that shot is really slow. You're gonna have to curry that thing up. But it's a good shot. It goes in. Same with Baldwin. Dude, he's big. He's pretty smart. Defensively, you can see that he knows where to be. He's probably just a little bit too slow right now. He can pass a little bit. He's gonna be a player. Again, the issue is, when is that going to happen? It's not going to be this year. Is it going to be next year? Is it the year after? So no idea when that's going to happen. Steve might hate him for no reason for a couple weeks, like he's done with Moses Moody, right? So to your point, but yeah, huge Moses Moody vibe, man. Like, this kid is going to be, if he's going to be on the Warriors, he's going to be a very good player for the Warriors. And I don't know if I'd rather see him versus other guys, but Sam, I've seen all I needed to see. And I've seen like maybe 10 minutes of him to tell you that he's going to be good.
I really like PBJ. I think the combination of size, shooting ability, and feel, like, it's very hard to not imagine he is at least like an old man Otto Porter for a decade. You know what I mean? Where it's like every team could use, like, a George Niang. Like, every team could use a guy like that where they're like 6'9", 6'10". They'll hit open shots and they're smart enough to, like, play within a team, right? That's like his low end as far as I'm concerned. I think he's going to be good. My concern, to Ebony's point, is, I mean, he's another teenager, or he might be 20. But, like, my point is, this team needs a veteran. They don't need another kid out there. Like, would I be okay with him getting minutes over Wiseman? Sure. But it's just trading one kid for another as far as I'm concerned. I think they need to find a way, and maybe it's a buyout, maybe it's a trade. I don't know. But, like, I just don't see an internal option on this roster to fix it. Patrick Baldwin's a rookie who's 19 or 20. Wiseman might as well be a rookie. He's 21. JaMychal is what he is, which is kind of energy goon. And Anthony Lamb's a two-way guy they stumbled into in mid-October, and I think he's overexceeded everyone's expectations, but, like, he still is what he is. They need someone more reliable for a playoff run, and it's just, it doesn't exist on this roster. That's where I come down on it.
Correct.
Sammy, Andy, how are you, boys? I don't know when you're going to play this, but I just wanted to get it off my chest. Still in the Knicks Warriors game, but I hope everyone's fucking proud of themselves for the product edition out now, because I'd like you, Sammy, on the next show to count how many actual dead roster spots, in your opinion, do we have? Because by my count now, based off watching this fucking shit, we've got about 6 or 7. So and you basically, like you've said all along, you and Andy have said, there's basically a pissing contest going on between Bob Myers and fucking Steve Kerr. Steve's obviously going, well, I'm not going to play these guys, so fuck you. And then, you know, everyone's proud of themselves. Everyone wants to fucking have their little hot takes and little, you know, fucking footsteps on their commentary. Yeah, fantastic. That's great. But like I said the last time I called you blokes, when are we going to get fucking serious about a team now that was the defending champions last year, and now it just seems everyone's just, oh, well, we're just going to cop being a fucking mediocre cuck side. So, again, I just like to talk about that again because I don't think enough heat's been put on by certain media members and certain whatever. But yeah, let's have a chat because I'm not really fucking happy with the performance today because clearly we're going to punt tomorrow too and Durant's going to put up 45, 50 and fucking do the DX fucking symbol on us. So, anyway, cheers, boys.
Hey, no lies told by Luke. I mean, it's come on, man. Let's get serious. Is actually maybe I'll title that'll be this episode's title. Let's get serious.
Sammy,
just a bunch of children. Let's get some adults. Let's get serious. All right, Tim. Let's get to the next. Actually, we got a super chat before we get to the next one. If you throw it up there, I'm trying to find it.
I can read it out. It's from Paratosh.
Okay, okay. Just throw it on the screen. From Paratosh. Don't think they're going to make a trade this season. Not because front office doesn't want to right now, but I don't think the kids have any real value.
It's true. The guy that has value is Kuminga. If you're a smart team, you want to go in there and you're like, well, the Warriors are desperate. I'm going to go get myself Kuminga. Warriors not going to trade Kuminga. Not going to trade Kuminga.
Oh, yeah, we'll take Wiseman if you throw in Kuminga. You know, that's the phone call they're probably getting all the time.
All the time. Nobody gives a shit about Wiseman. Like, they don't want him. And the thing with the Warriors is they're also not making a margin trade. Anytime the Warriors make a trade, it's never, unless it's a dump, salary dump, like they're not going to make a trade for a vet guy. Like I'm telling you right now, you brought up Kelly Olynyk, not happening. They'd rather hold on. You know what I mean? Like they're holding on to that stock rather than trading low for a veteran guy. The trade that they did for Andrew Wiggins, like you could see the vision. You could see, like, even though I wasn't happy about it, you could see hey, he's an athletic, used to be a number one pick, two-way wing. Like if we can fix
D'Lo's a max guy. Exactly. It was just kind of like we're shaking this up. It's not like yeah.
And we get a pick, ironically, get Kuminga. So like that's the type of trade that they do. So if you see them make that, like it would be for an upside. Like it's not going to be for even a Jakob Poeltl. I don't even know if they do that. So all right, let's keep it going to the next.
From awesome. I think this is a lost season. Nothing will change my mind until a fundamental roster change or when Klay stops being selfish.
Ooh,
we've talked roster, so let's talk Klay.
Yeah. Look, man. Is there anything about Klay that we don't know? Tweeted this the other day. People are just like, oh, he's making the right decision on this play, and maybe he's gonna. He's like, no, he's always been the same guy. He's gonna take a bunch of dumb shots. Sometimes he'll make the right pass if the game goes the right way because he's playing with Steph and the game's going well, so he'll make the right plays. But in games like this where Knicks jump out to a big lead and the Warriors are playing from behind and Klay's kind of forcing it, that's what you get. The real downside is not really the decision making. The real downside to me is like, dude, he is cooked defensively. It is. Like, he's not just not good, he's bad. Like, now you have two guys, Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson, that can't play defense. It is ugly.
Yeah, he's moving like me these days. It's not good. Nah, that's disrespectful to Klay, but you guys get the vision here. Old man type stuff. All right, Tim, let's keep moving.
Yeah, let's keep moving.
Hello, Sam and Andy. I really want to be positive on this one, so this is a positive message. I think it's time. Well, I actually know it's time. We have to trade Wiseman. I don't care who takes him. Just get him away from us. I feel bad, yet I don't. He's got to go. And we probably lose to Brooklyn tomorrow night. And I can't even believe I'm just saying that already. Hey, you guys have a wonderful show tonight. I'll be watching. Bye.
Always appreciate you, Karima. And if we don't get a chance to chat with you, I hope you have a happy holidays. I think we've kind of hit on it. It does feel like it's let's cut it. You pick him. You're a clown show in the play-in. He gets hurt. You win a title. He's back. Back to clown show.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's all his fault. I'm just saying, we both come from cultures which believe in like luck and, different types of various like voodoo. Sometimes you gotta just follow the vibes a little bit.
Free it. Just free it. Just
free the spirit.
Just free it. It's enough. Enough. If he goes somewhere else and becomes, Victor Wembanyama, let it be. Just let it be. Let it be. Let's keep it. I think we've got a ton of voicemails today. Let's keep going.
James Wiseman-Yana.
Yeah. Okay. Dude, his highlights are crazy.
Is Wiseman the worst player we've ever seen on this team while we're trying to condense debate? Also, should we storm Chase Center? Thanks.
I'll tell you what we're not doing. We are not storming Chase Center on an empty stomach. Got myself some Pacific Catch tonight. Had some dumplings. Feeling good. That's why I'm smiling. Even after the Warriors lost by 38 points. Guys, it's just basketball, but good dumplings.
Dude. By the way, I appreciate everyone. Since it is the Pacific Catch Light Years post game show, appreciate everyone that sends us pictures of them going to Pacific Catch. It is, dude, I feel blessed. Pacific Catch is like 10 blocks away from where I grew up. It's like 10 blocks away where I lived for a couple of years, and now it's 10 blocks away from where I live in the peninsula. Pacific Catch is everywhere. It's ubiquitous, Samuel. It's amazing.
They are, by the way, amazing at picking good real estate so that they're always near you, wherever you need to be in the Bay Area. But I will say, it is good, and it did make me feel better during a game that made me feel very angry. So let's get to the next one, Tim.
Hey, yo, Sam and Andy, yo. I heard you talking trash about Randall last week. Get the fuck out of here. This guy and that Quentin Grimes, man. It's pretty fucking good.
Shout out to who do we think that was?
Is that friend of the show? Resident New York Knicks fan, Jason Buford. Is that him?
I don't think that's Buford.
No. Okay, I thought that was him.
The voice lacked melanin. Just being real with you.
By the way, I actually didn't know the Knicks were on a 7-game win streak coming into this game, and it just makes me. I like when the Knicks are good because Knicks fans are great and they're hilarious. Now they're on an 8-game winning streak, but let me tell you, for the Knicks fans that listen to the podcast, it never ends well for you. It never does. It never does. It definitely won't if Julius Randle's wearing it. But hey, Jalen Brunson's pretty great though. He's pretty great.
I'm a Quentin Grimes guy. Sorry. Can appreciate it, but Andy is correct. You guys will only suffer under Dolan. Let's get to the next call.
Hey guys, I just want to know, what is the front office doing right now? Like, are they just like, do they go in every day and they just sit from 9 to 5 doing nothing, twiddling their thumbs? Because what we watched tonight, the result doesn't even really matter. Knicks won 7 in a row before tonight. We're out 3 of our top 7. But holy cow. The next few years are going to be bleak. And this year is looking bleaker by the second. I need to know what is going on. Shout out to you guys. You guys are the best.
What do you think Kirk does all day in the office, Sam? What do you think he does? He's charting out trade. Like he's on the trade machine and he's throwing out 4-teamers.
Well, Fitz let us know during the Toronto game that Kent texted him from, Transylvania, scouting the next Smiley. That was the weirdest thing I've ever. It's like I got a text from a Warriors scout in Europe. No one works harder. And then Kalina's like, "Is it Kent?" I'm not gonna expose that. It's just like I'm like, oh,
dude, it killed me. It was so cringe. Kalina snitching on him on live TV was the funniest shit.
You could tell Kalina's like, just please just don't do this. That's all. Anyway, I think we hit on this topic before, so I'm gonna keep going. But Tim, let's get to the next one.
Hi Sam and Andy. This is a long time listener, occasional caller. I don't know if you guys are gonna read my take or listen to it because it's very negative.
Huh? We're here.
But I really feel as if we've wasted our number 2 pick on arguably the worst player in the NBA. And I simply don't understand how someone can be a negative 29 in 20 minutes. I think it's a remarkable accomplishment in the worst possible way. And I think the fact that we're hinging our so-called second timeline and future on someone that doesn't know how to box out or rebound or catch a pass or play basketball in any level is frankly ridiculous. I think I would be much more inclined to feel positively towards a Mr. James Wiseman if the front office wasn't so hyper fixated on his abilities, and I say abilities with quotation marks because I frankly at this point don't see it. I don't know, it's just incredibly frustrating to know that we're paying a player $9 million when we have essentially 5 dead roster spots. And I think everything that's been happening is kind of a consequence of that, or a consequence rather of Mr. Lacob's hubris and arrogance. I think it's frustrating to watch in the regular season, and I think it is very deeply concerning should playoff time come around and we don't have a trade or get someone on the buyout market. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. This was a disgusting loss. I'm happy I stopped watching in the third quarter.
Wow. Hey, did you know Wiseman was a minus 29 tonight? It's impressive, actually. As she was saying, it's impressive.
I mean, I was charting it. You know me. I got my clipboard out, and I only had him at minus 25. So I'm gonna wait for the official box score. No, it sounds about right. I mean, they were in the minus 15 range for a while. Then they put the kids out there, and it was just blowout city. I think everyone's just kind of saying the same thing, though. It's just like enough. We got one of the 5 best players of all time. I'm tired of doing the, is Steph top 10? No, bro, he's top 5. Stop lying. Kareem's not better than him. Tim Duncan's not better than him. Shaq's not, all these guys are not better than him. Maybe LeBron and Jordan, those guys are better than him.
Yeah.
But the list is short. He's currently playing like the best version of himself, save the shoulder injury. Just go for it. Enough with this convoluted 2-timeline plan. None of those kids are going to be Steph. Honestly, you might sign the best free agent in basketball in 5 years. He still won't be Steph. It's just not how it works.
I mean, you can win the lottery this season, get one of the greatest prospects since Anthony Davis and or LeBron James, and I assure you, he has a 1% chance of being as good as Steph Curry.
Anthony Davis is actually a perfect example. Anthony Davis is the most sure thing prospect I can think of in the last 15 years. And he's actually
good.
He was he won a title. He was the best player on a title team, maybe second best. If he's healthy, he's a superstar. It's that simple. He's still not Steph. That's the point. Like,
not close. Not even close.
No. He's done everything. He's been amazing. There's nothing wrong with him in any capacity. There's just levels to it. Anyway, let's get to the next one. Oh, we got super chat. Let's do this first, then we'll get to the next one. From Voodoo Child. Young players exist in Memphis and New Orleans.
Young winning players.
Yeah, young winning. That's a great point. So I do think it's fair to say Steve Kerr, not the best development coach in the NBA.
I'm close. Not even close.
So there's two things going on. One, majority of those young players on those teams are, as Fitz likes to say, 3- and 4-year college players. But taking that aside, I objectively speaking, Steve Kerr's not a great development coach. He's not good at balancing the two. It's not his strength. It's never been his strength. I don't think he lies about it being his strength.
No.
My question for you is, you have a formula that works with Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, and versatility around it. Is it not good enough to just try to fit that formula and win another title? Or do you have to prove you can be more?
Part of it is some of the players there are better. Like some of those young guys are maybe better. But I'm looking at Memphis is playing right now, by the way. They're getting mollywopped by the Nuggets. But Zaire Williams comes to mind. Zaire Williams is a really young athletic wing. I mean, that guy's Kuminga, basically. He's just a really athletic
By the way, he's not playing a lot for them.
And so I think, so I think it's some of it's front office, some of it's coaching, some of it's also expectations. Memphis and New Orleans don't have the expectation that they need to win anything. Those teams, if Memphis makes it to the Western Conference Finals this season, that's a success. If New Orleans
they don't have one of the 5 greatest of all time.
No,
the last years of his window.
Yeah, maybe not. Jaw's going to be great though, but I don't think he's ever going to be. His peak is his stratosphere is maybe more Russ, right, or D Rose rather than Steph. And New Orleans, same thing, right? If they make it to the second round of the Western Conference, hey,
great,
round of applause, great, yeah. Right? And honestly, Brett Ingram can stay healthy. Jesus, that team just can't stay healthy. So expectations are different, and they've gone through coaches to do that, right? Memphis has gone through different coaches to get there, and I don't know. I think it's different. But to your thing, Zaire Williams played a lot last season, and I thought he was pretty good. For what he was as a raw prospect, and this season he's just not, and he's just maybe not there yet. I don't know, they've got other guys, but anyway, let's keep it. We've got a few more, I think, Sam or Tim, we've got a few more, right? So let's rip through these.
Yeah, let's rip through them.
How much for Svi Mykhailiuk? That's how desperate I am. How much for Svi Mykhailiuk? Name your price. New York City Knickerbockers, name your price.
Down bad. That's down bad.
To the next one.
That's down bad, man.
This is Connor, long-time listener, first-time caller. Just sorry with the noise. Walking on Lincoln Boulevard here. Man, just watched the Knicks game. This is rough. The worst part about it isn't even that we're losing. Obviously it is. It's a big part of it. Worst part is we're playing the same every time we lose. There's nothing new to talk about. There's no hot takes. We know what the problems are. They're not getting fixed. I mean, I don't know what else we can do when the solutions are just right in front of us and nothing changes. You tell me. I don't know. All right, I'm going to go get drunk. See you later.
The shit. Hey, Sam, do you know what's on Lincoln Boulevard, by the way? Do you know what else is on Lincoln Boulevard? Pacific Catch, baby. Pacific Catch. All right, let's go. Let's
everyone get yourself some ramen tonight. If you're listening in the morning, 6 a.m. ramen, totally acceptable. All right, let's get to the next call, Timmy.
Hey, Sam. Hey, Andy. Megan here. You know what I didn't like about what Wiseman did tonight was that he came up from the G League to New York and just played all casual, like no big deal. Man, it's almost insulting. He needs to quit playing like a scrunched up praying mantis and I don't know, get some dog in him. There's no dog. Like when that x-ray is going to come up, it shows a dog in his chest, there's going to be marshmallows in there. Just no dog.
Marshmallows.
Oh, I mean, can we go ahead?
So it feels like, because we're ready to get out of here. We're gonna run this back tonight, tomorrow night after the Nets game. It feels like James Wiseman has become the banner, scapegoat, whatever it is you want to call it, of the second timeline not working out. I think he's become the face of that not working out. Whether that's not fair or not, I think doesn't matter, because that's the guy you drafted with the second overall pick. That's the guy after 3 seasons, 2.5. He goes out there. He's completely unplayable. You bring him back from the G League, same thing. Is he the reason why you're a team that's this bad? No. But is he the reason and the face of why the second timeline isn't working? Sam, I think that's where people's frustration comes from. I think that's what it is. And I think that's completely fair.
You are correct, my friend. You are correct. This is what the people want to see. They just want to see dog. They want to see dog x-rays. Kuminga, there's some dog there. That's why no one's criticizing him, even though I don't think he played a particularly good game tonight.
No.
I think it was a little reckless, and it's a lot of the Kuminga experience. There's just young and sloppy, that sort of stuff. Anyway, we'll leave here. We appreciate every one of you who called. And more than anything, we appreciate those of you who ordered Pacific Catch tonight. All right, guys, have a good one.